set up this reversal on Thursday, sweeping above the previous day's high into some form of a daily key level. And then we traded lower off of that, and we resisted this 4-hour down closed, which is, let's see, 4-hour BOB. We're going to mark that like this. And so in my mind, the current structure in play is that this order block remains dominant and the order flow is bearish. And so this move up into the range so far to me has only spiked the interest as a retracement, seeing that Monday opened and immediately traded higher without really putting in a key weekly low, and also furthered by the expectation that we haven't really expanded aggressively into the early days of the week. And so therefore I'm classing this as a retracement. Now, in terms of what we're going to look to be trading today, from my perspective, generally speaking, if you're looking to long today, which I'm not going to sketch up an idea for, you're going to have to do that by yourself because I'm not interested in longs at all. It's not part of the model I'm trading to look for a long setup on this day, in this week, with the way that price has been developing. But if you're looking to frame longs, you'd obviously want to see strong closure above the 830 opening price right there, and then a potential expansion up into the previous day's high level, and potentially this buy side right here that we formed during AM session on non-farm payroll Friday. Now, what I would have wanted to see out of CPI is the following. Let's get rid of some of these annotations like this. What I wanted to see from CPI was an expansion into the upside and then a rejection, and for us to trade back lower, because that to me would sort of confirm the significance of trading into a weekly POI or a key POI to frame a weekly reversal off of, being this buy side. And then after a change in state of delivery, I could obviously start to look for lower prices with the expectation that Wednesday makes high of week, and we'd be trading into all of these failure swings and the resting previous week's low sell side liquidity, which we did not tag early in the week. And so the fact that CPI went down, but not only went down, that it was indecisive, right? If we look at this, this is sort of our CPI range right now. So from this high to that low. If we check how large that range is, we're looking at just about 138 points. With our current ADR, this is nothing. So I think that CPI is something I'm going to ignore today. I'm not going to treat it as a significant news driver in that sense. What I'm now looking for in order to frame the bearish bias is that I'd want to see price make a run up above the previous day's high at the minimum. And then I'd have to, unfortunately, resort into maybe lower time frames, such as the 5-minute, to frame a change in state to trade the downside, because the lack of structure ahead of the open is going to be cutting us down on time. And so therefore, this is the only idea I'm curious to seeing. Now you might ask, okay, why would I not be looking for longs? First off, it's not aligned with the weekly profile. Second off, we never made a key low early in the week. And third off, the deviation that we've made from daily opening price to the downside is not very indicative of a likely upside expansion, right? So where we're looking at from here, if I measure the daily opening to low, we've moved 132 points below daily open. And to me, that's a bit too much to then expect the market to do more of that into the upside, a significant move. Whereas if we swept above the previous day's high level, right above here, we'd be looking at a very significant daily wick, right? With this daily opening being here, just above these highs, to then frame a change in state of delivery. There is a setup that I traded myself where precisely this happened. We're going to be looking at Thursday right here. We have the daily opening price, which is, let's find you sexy beast. There we go. So this is our daily opening price right here. This is the previous day's high level. If you check how much we've deviated from daily open to high, we made not too large of a run considering the current daily ranges at this time, above the previous day's high level. And then we set forth, by the way, this is 8:30 news right here, was also indecisive, right on that dot. After that, we made a run above these highs and the previous day's high level, and then we set an insane expansion to the downside, 9:30 into 10, and then into the PM session, essentially closing the low of the day out at 3:45 p.m. So this is sort of what I'd want to be sketching up or anticipating for today. I'll be taking a copy of this and I'll just post it in there like this. So same idea applies. Too large of a downside movement for me to want to look for longs, not in line with the profile. And so therefore, I want to see us trade higher now. If we're lucky here, which this would really be textbook, we're going to get an SMT at this high, with NASDAQ running the high and ES failing too. And if that's the case, obviously we're going to be looking to trade ES as the weaker asset. And short term, I'd suppose the previous day's lows levels, such as Tuesday low, Monday, actually Monday's low is like all the way down here. Okay, never mind. But this sell side and this sell side seem to be very logical targets. That's something I could imagine likely to be hit. And then further that idea into the rest of the week should today frame a reversal. But other than that, not much else to say. Going to be seeing if we get that SMT there, and I'm more focused on the short side. Now, if we close up strong here in the next 5 minutes, retest this and then expand higher, and we don't really make a key signature of a reversal, the further we move away from the daily opening price to the upside, the less inclined I am to try and trade this short. And if that's the case, I'm just going to have to let this day go and focus on tomorrow and Friday with unemployment and the PPI number as my next two probable days of trading. I think that pretty much sums it up. Any questions? Any humans questions? I'm not playing this in here just because I don't want to risk anything, but I'll check it out as soon as this call ends. SMT on the highs as well, Kiko? Yeah, there's a small one, I think, right? But this one is more significant to me. I want to be framing all reversals off of these previous daily high levels. And NASDAQ's sprinting forward right now, so that should not be too horrible. Nice, man. Good stuff, Mr. Kingo2552. We spike high and return back into range. When's the reversal? Thank you, Danny, for sharing your bias. I wouldn't have gotten there without you. Yes, I trade ICT concepts. Let's see. Would you mind showing your entry on that trade, Kiko? Yesterday, you mean? The trade yesterday? Let's see. I was on ES though. Oops, wrong ES. So, where are we? Was this yesterday? Yeah, this was yesterday. The entry I took was this here. The closure below this candle. After we confirmed the 15-minute lower, I shorted this candle's opening price. I mean, this candle's, wait, is that is the opening price? Yeah. So I shorted this candle's opening price. I think it looked something like this. There, and then 2R. Let's see. Yeah, this was the trade, I believe. That's what I took yesterday. That was the setup. And then, okay, I did try to add. So right here, I scaled out my position fully at 2R, but I'd look to add in another position right here after this close below, wanting price to stay heavy and respect this high. So then I put on another position with a single micro, I believe, that looked something like that. And that stopped me out. So that was a negative trade that I took after, but it wasn't a big deal. I survived, I think, for the most part. Let's see. When an SMT happens, why do we trade the weaker pair if we have another one taking some liquidity? Because we treat it as if both took the liquidity. So if NASDAQ takes out the liquidity, we're treating it in the sense that we're considering ES did the same, but it's just not visible here. And so therefore ES is more likely to trade to the downside. And we want to be focusing on that asset for shorts because it's going to be heavier inherently. And I think we're just about at that previous day's high level. Let's see. Okay, MNQ is almost there, but I don't know what NASDAQ's doing. No problem. Looking at short between 18,929 and 18,80. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Yeah, looks good. Pretty nice point of interest. Ah, you're looking quite up there. I wouldn't want to see it trade that high up, actually. Some sweep here, swing formation would be nice, and then see what happens from there. Which time frame should I focus on as a beginner? The 15-minute. Look at the 15-minute. I've only recorded one and it was sort of lackluster, so we're going to be doing more in the future. Why you avoid yesterday H1 CSD in both ES and NQ? You mean bullish? Bullish CSD? Where? This one? This one right here? I will not do that because I'm going to get in trouble. Let's see. Do you have a video on your New York routine in the morning? I do not, in fact. Do not have a video. Did we sweep out the highs? No, we didn't. I don't look at forex, no. I'm waiting for 9:30 to make a run above the highs. I'm expecting 9:30. If we poke above the highs before 9:30, I might see another drive up again because that's just the nature of the open and I'm going to account for that. But I want to see us run out the highs and then break down lower and look to see if there's anything to the downside that I can frame that's logical. You don't think price will take Friday's high? I think if they wanted to take it, if we were bearish, they would have taken it on CPI. This high right here, if we were bearish, they would immediately take it on CPI. So if 9:30 expands all the way up there, even if they take it and then drop lower, I don't want to trade that because it's going to be a bit more high resistance in nature and not that likely to be a large range expansion day to the downside, in my opinion. So they would have had to take this at CPI for me to be heavy confident in the short setup right on open. There's the sweep right there. Let's see if ES does the same. If it doesn't, then we can maybe frame some stupid ideas. There we go. What higher time frame context made you short yesterday? I think it's more of a logic where, let me see if I can sketch this up. Let's look at the 15-minute. So Monday traded higher, Tuesday traded above Monday's high, and then after that we had a 15-minute change in state right there. And when trading a reversal day, you have to work with this form of change in state of delivery because you can't wait out for an entire hour to pass to get an hourly bearish confirmation if you want to get off onside oftentimes. So like for instance here, if you waited for an hourly bearish change in state, you would have had to wait till the 11 a.m. candle closes and then it reverses on you. So in trading these anticipated reversal days, you're a bit more aggressive in that sense and you're working off of 15-minute confirmations or 5 minutes sometimes even. And then the idea was obviously we never really made a key low or protected low below the open. We've got failure swings resting down here. We've got this trend line up there, which is just all this engineered liquidity into open. The open opens above previous day's high, and then we break down. We make a change in state of delivery. We also traded into the bearish hourly order block from Friday. And so from there on out, it's just, I'm not expecting this to expand the whole day. So I'm not looking for that sort of setup, but for a short-term setup or a scalp of some sorts, this is a framework that is valid and can be traded. Yes, do me a favor, don't take out that high because I'm going to have to close my charts and go take a nap. How can I make my charts like yours? It's just black-white. They're just black and white. That's it. Everything black-white. Do you trade micro or mini? It depends on the day. If my stop has to be a bit larger, then I'll trade micros because I'm always using the same amount of dollar risk, right? And it also helps with partialing. But if the stop doesn't need to be too massive and I can afford the mini contracts, then I'll be entering on mini. Do you got a YouTube? No. No. Are you favoring NASDAQ or ES today? At the moment, ES. Because ES took out this low. So I'm considering ES to be a bit more heavy. Even if they both sweep out this high, I'd expect NASDAQ to make a more significant run. Like, okay, ES is almost at the high. Looks like my Wi-Fi is cutting out. You still hear me? Am I alive? It seems I am. ES is almost at the high, but NASDAQ is like well above it. You see that? And trading strong above it. So NASDAQ right now is the stronger asset. And so if I'm looking to frame a short setup, I'd be looking at the NASDAQ the S&P primarily. Sucks because I don't like trading that asset, but it is what it is. I believe we dump. Yeah, maybe. Like right now, it's not looking great. This is not what you want to be seeing. I want to see a reaction off the previous day's high, but we've still got time until the market opens, and I'm not gonna be jumping the gun on anything. Take it slow. Flip when. Right now, man. Right now, today. How long it can take for me to be that knowledgeable as you? How long did it take for you? You just have to study, like study proper, take good notes, and revise the topics. I think from a studying or knowledge perspective, it all has to do with study. And obviously, you want to be spending time in your charts and seeing these things happen so that you gain. They commit to trading. Some people have 30 minutes a day they can commit to trading. So it's always different. Some people they get smarter or they learn more much faster than other people. Some people take more time. Everyone's got their own road and process. So I would just get started and eventually you'll get there. You'll get somewhere better than me even. How much do you risk for trade on eval account and a funded account? Eval, it's always aggressive. I try to pass it quick, and funded, it's anywhere between $400 and $650. If Nasdaq runs the HQL range, it will be more ideal, right? Yeah, like Nasdaq ran it, but ES literally needs to shit the bed now. So I want ES to just quilt over and drop to the downside. I don't want to see it take this high out because it's just going to make things really annoying for me. If it can leave that SMT intact into 930, then this framework starts to become a bit more viable and a bit easier to trade. The CSD. Okay, well, honestly speaking, Mr. Vishnu, this right here, after this had happened, I was thinking maybe, okay, price will stay below that up close candle, and we may see CPI be more of a distribution day. But I'm not shorting this on Tuesday because we've exhausted the majority of the daily range, and I'm not expecting Tuesday, with no news the day prior to CPI, to be making a large range to the downside, let alone a large range bottom line. So I'm not really interested in this at all. And so after the CSD happens, I just want to wait and see how the day closes. If the day closes bearish and respects this, then I can once again reiterate and frame the idea of I'd like to see a retracement up into this, set a high of day, and then trade lower into the close, because that would be permissible in that sense. But this right here yesterday, it didn't interest me at all. I wasn't trying to pick anything on this. Just joined Kiko. What do you expect today? I want to see this SMT stay put, and I'm looking for lower prices. I drew up somewhat of a bullish scenario, but anyone who wants to be bullish, you have to frame your own bias, because I'm literally not looking for higher prices at all. So for me, it's very simple, right? There's strict rules that I follow in the model I'm trading. There's criteria that need to be met in order to engage a day and put on a trade. And so the second one of them is invalidated, there's no questions to be asked, right? It's just simply I sit out. And so you miss some trades in that sense, but I'm also really just being strict with what I'm looking for. And the trades that I do take tend to be better in that sense. So like I could flip now and maybe find a bullish scenario and try to trade this long and maybe make money, but it's not worth it for me. And I know that it's not a great habit. So I'm only looking for the downside. The reason why I say this is because a lot of people will see what I give as a bias and they'll take it at face value and they'll just follow it. And I don't want you guys to do that. I want you to, I mean, if you're bearish, then this can maybe add to your ideas because I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And if you're bullish, you can stick with your bias and not try and get shaken out of it or get, flipped up upside down and whatnot, because I'm wrong a lot of times too, right? So I don't want people to be following this blindly and losing because of it, because then I have a bad feeling for you being stupid. So it's like, that's basically what it is. Look at Friday AM high. Let's see. Nasdaq added or what? Oh my god, it just loaded and I clicked it away. Friday's AM high is up here. I don't care about this anymore. I don't care. All right, let's see. Where's blue line? Friday's AM session high. That's the blue line. The 4 hour, it looks a lot more cleaner. This is what I'm looking at here, like this. SMT down there, trades up into here. So far, pretty strong. Personally, I'm trading kind of similar to you, so I'm trying to learn how you figure your bias. I use AM's approach and T-Trade's approach. So I learned from T-Trades directly back in maybe February, March, something like that. And I've been doing nothing but applying exactly what he teaches. And then recently I added AM's teachings into the bias sort of things, and that's all I'm following. So I'm looking at the exact same things. It's like AM says, either offers you what you want or it doesn't. True discipline is walking away when giving of you what you were demanding to trade. Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't want to be forcing something that you don't want to be a part of, because even if it doesn't hurt your pockets, it's gonna hurt your mental. I much rather miss a day than take a day on a or trade on a day where I shouldn't be trading, because that's gonna, in the long run, I'll make more money missing days than I will actually trading days, because I'm skipping all the shitty days and skipping the days where priced as something I'm not comfortable being on side with, and I'm only getting the days where I'm really, on my game and I really understand what's likely to happen and with a high probability I can frame a setup. Mr. Big K, good morning, big bro. Any videos from AM that maybe TT has not covered? I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched a single AM Trades YouTube video. I just started learning his stuff when I joined the Lens. So maybe 2 months ago or so, something like that. That's where I learned everything. I didn't look at any of his YouTube before. You're gonna have to check. Um, right, join. All right, cool. What time is it? Okay, 15:11. Have you ever tried order flow? No. No, thank you. I want to join the Lens as soon as possible. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I don't get promoted, like, I don't get anything for it, but I would literally tell you guys to pay the money and join, because it's very much worth it. I think it's great. Like, I've went in there and I've learned a lot, considering that I've already studied a lot and know a lot. That really put another, really solidified my edge. So I think that for anyone, if you're a fresh trader or if you're already an experienced trader, you can find a lot of value in the Lens content. Cool. Let's see this again just one last time. ES is sort of being nice right now. Let's not close above here. Do me that favor. And at this point, I'd want to see the open, obviously, aggressively print down. So if it went to put in another high above this, then it's really likely to take out previous day's high, and that invalidates the SMT, which makes this harder to trade. If they can keep this SMT in place and just really shit the bed to the downside, excuse my language, maybe get a closure below here, and then I'll look for the 5-minute or 3-minute to frame a continuation. That would be the sort of setup that I tend to look for when trading day by day. So that's all I'm really looking at. And any invalidation thereof just means for me that I'm gonna close my charts and take the day off, because I'm not gonna be within my model if I trade this. When I get birthday money, I join, okay? Bet. Ben je Hollander? Nee, ik ben van Germany. But I'm learning Netherlands on Duolingo. That's why that's why that's why I've been writing it lately. Is Lens only for futures? No, you can learn Forex there too. And T-Trades will post oil, gold, and Forex and futures bias every other day. I don't really look at them because I don't want to get clouded by it, but you can like see it here. He posts his ideas, and AM does the same every other day. When there's a day that he's likely to trade, he'll put ideas out. You press shift. So look, if I do this, then it's not straight, but the second I press shift, straight like an arrow, you see that? Or I can do like an angle. So this is at a fixed angle, and then that's how you do that. So just press shift. Don't learn Netherlands because even Dutch people says their language is shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it for the ladies. Wait, hold up. What do you think about OTE and MMXM model? What is their model? What do you mean? Like you just mean MMXM in general? Or you mean the MMXM trader, the guy? The guy. Did NASDAQ SMT that? No. This bad boy. If the current 5-minute closes above the order block and then changes down, wouldn't that be easier to get a CSD and frame a trade? I love that you said that because I was just thinking about that. If you look at ES, because we had 1, 2, 3, 4 up closes, on the 5-minute, your change in state of delivery would have to be here. The fact that we put in this interruption candle, that's what I would call it, means that if we now close above here and then break down lower, this becomes our change in state of delivery. And that is true, yes. That's exactly what goes through my mind there. So this here, instead of this here for an entry, which would be horrendous. But I still wouldn't want to see that because if it closes above here, it's likely to just run out this high. I mean, it's that close already. It's a pool of liquidity above this high. So it makes the day less clean in my eyes. If that previous high SMT holds, that's just much better for a short. Learn Spanish to get more value from it. I'll learn it too, don't worry. I'm still gonna do a couple of languages. First time in the live stream. Love your energy, Kiko. Much appreciated, Mr. Peter called Petro Gabriel. No, better call Petro Gabriel. Good morning, Kie. Talks about when 8:30 goes up, look for New York to go down, vice versa. Does this apply since both Asia and London have been ran through? Thanks. Technically speaking, yes. But I'm writing off the 9:30, the 8:30 manipulation, 9:30 expansion idea is not that firm for me here today, because if I were framing that, then I'd have to literally say I want 9:30 up, which means I'm looking for a bullish day. And because I'm not bullish and I'm not a big fan of this upside framework, I don't want to propagate that idea because it's against my bias anyways. And so therefore, I don't want to be pushing the narrative on something that I don't fully grasp or fully understand to you guys. So that should be the case usually, right? So 8:30 trades lower right there. And mark that out like this. So then we would expect 9:30 to expand higher. And that is true, but I'm not looking for a long, so I don't want to be pushing that idea. Let you guys figure that one out. Delete this. Let's do that. There we go, like this. Okay, cool. How you switch time frame trading view with your keys? You just type the numbers, so like 15 or then 30, or I put 1 and then I put 1H and it puts 1 hour, I put 1D and it puts daily. So you can just do it key by key. 15 puts me back on the 15-minute chart. You type in the literal numbers on your keyboard and it'll take you. If ES takes previous day's high and NASDAQ takes Friday's high, then a reversal shows up. Would you be interested for shorts still, or is previous day's high SMT your invalidation for shorts? Okay, so that's an interesting question. If we look at, why is my mouse so crazy? There we go. Where is our open today? Okay, so this is where we're opening today. Mark this like that. If NASDAQ went to take out this high, I'd really have to see how far is ES gonna move up with it. Because as I mentioned earlier in the stream, the further we move away from the opening price, the less likely we are to make an expansion downwards. But if we SMT this high and I start seeing some strong bearish confirmations, which means sort of like how I mentioned yesterday, if we want to see bearish prices here, which was the initial bias, she needs to completely turn on a dime, right? She needs to just put in a high and then start breaking lower immediately. There can be no hesitancy. So same idea applies here, I think. If we do SMT that high, even if ES runs out previous day's high, she needs to immediately fall to the side and have a hard time getting back up. Because if it just slowly moves down and leaves a wick, then I'm guessing it's more of a retracement to higher prices sort of idea. And that's not what I'm trying to do here. That sort of stuff. Kiko, you are kind. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I was raised pretty well. You're not bullish until we take this swing high. No, I'm not bullish at all. It's because I'm trading the market based on a actually, now that you mention it, No, I'm good. I'm trading the market based on the weekly profile. I'm focused on looking at what the weekly profile is likely to suggest. And so, from an intraday perspective, this SMT down here puts in a protected low, which can speak for an expansion to the upside. But because it doesn't align with my weekly bias, being that I don't like this bottom, right? I'm not a fan of how we put in this low here and never really manipulated below it to set up an upside, and the fact that we haven't really expanded here, we've just sort of carried up high. I'm not really interested from a weekly framework perspective to trade this to the upside, because I believe if I'm aligned with the weekly bias, I'd be getting the larger sort of moves, the majority expansions, and that's really what I'm trying to do, right? I'm not too keen on the scalp stuff. But intraday perspective, right now, this looks more decent for the upside as of now, right? We'll see what that looks like when Friday high SMT is in. You like shorting all the time? No, not at all, honestly. I mean, last week I wanted to long a bit more than short. I only had a bias Friday and Tuesday. But now this week I'm more keen on the short idea. It's 50-50 for me. I take what's there, what's logical. I'm not discriminating against longs or shorts. SMT and Gallet, yeah, it's sort of just cooked there. It is what it is. Do you do the lives every day? Yes. I do the pre-market lives every day, Tuesday through Friday. Just not Mondays because I don't speculate Mondays. Yes, you need data. You have to buy the data package. Which with YM, which asset should we look for to form SMT? You can use both ES and NASDAQ. 1v1 kiko, I'm bullish. Midweek reversal bearish. Did lowest good target. Yes. What if this week classic buy? Not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of the idea. Once again, reason being, if I wanted to see a classic buy day, I'd want to see this here. So, but classic buy week, I'd want to see that and then up. So for me, that's fine. But right now, the largest day this week has been Wednesday, which Wednesday just literally expanded up, 87 points on ES, and then Tuesday went a bit higher, and then Wednesday went a bit higher. So it's not really firm for me, you know? I'm not expecting after this much of a downside expansion to see an immediate upside expansion for a whole week. And these are just sort of weak candles, right? If you look at this right here, this was a sketchy week, but we had SMT on the lows with YM, which is why someone traded it. Monday sort of indecisive, Tuesday rips up, Wednesday trades higher, Thursday rips up. This is a classic expansion, so that's more logical. But so far, this isn't really spiking me as that. Not too firm on that idea. 9:30 manipulation lower to the 15-minute order block. Looks good for longs. Yep. You don't need it's not about the premium plans. It's just about like you need a data package for the daily data. Check this out. Previous day's high, balance, price range, low resistance, liquidity, previous day's low, equal low, on liquidity. Oh my god, that looks pretty nice. Where are those equal lows? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, eventually they'll run it. It's just like, is it gonna happen today? And if it's not gonna happen today, are we trading it? And generally we don't want to be trading it if it's not happening today. But like smooth lows like that and all these failure swings, they tend to get revisited. Yes. What's the T trades and AM strat combo you said you use, please? I just trade AM's foundation model, but I use T trades teachings, private teachings as confluences. That Friday high level is quite close. Interesting. Let's see. No, I'm not face revealing. You gotta survive. On the weekly with open Milo close, will you be waiting for a CSD on the hourly or 4 hour? Generally, 1 hour will suffice. The 1 hour change in state. Like for, okay, in this example, kind of sucks that I'm gonna do this, but like this, for instance, if this was Monday's trading and we did that and then expanded, then this would be our weekly CSD that I could maybe frame buy off of every other day. But weekly will generally suffice. If it's a bit sloppy like this, the 4 hour tends to be much cleaner. So here you can see that we're sort of respecting these down close candles and trading higher, putting in swings and trading up. That tends to be cleaner when the hourly is a bit sloppy. As such. Told you focus on Friday high. Only thing to frame a short from. Yeah, for sure. I'm so confused, Keiko. If the Nasdaq vibrates in harmony with the moon's reflection during the New York session, how does the color of the ticker symbol affect the emotional frequency of algorithmic butterflies trading in the fifth dimension? Your name is Nasdaq. I don't know why you're asking me. You should know that shit yourself. Somebody asked why you don't look at fair value gaps. I don't know if you answered, but I don't remember. So is it true? And if yes, why? I don't need them. They're not relevant to me. I'll show you why. So this here is a fair value gap, right? You see this here, this low, this high, and that low. That's a 1 hour fair value gap. If I go into a 5-minute chart, let's see if this wants to load. I'm at some hotel right now, so my Wi-Fi is a bit cooked. I'm sorry for that. So now we're on a 5-minute chart. Now this right here has suddenly become buy-side liquidity, if that makes sense. On the lower time frames, the high or low of a fair value gap, right? What defines it is just buy side and sell side liquidity. So like this short right here, where we hit this level of buy side, some people were saying we're trading internal to external. I say we're just trading external to more external. I internalize the market in sense of market structure, which is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then lower high, lower low. And that's really all that's happening. And fair value gaps on lower time frames will be exactly that. So I'm not too focused on trading with them. It's adding too much into the model that I don't need in order to trade. And so I'm just not using them at all. I also don't use BPRs. I don't use mitigation blocks. I don't use breakers. What other PD arrays there? I don't really use rejection blocks at all. It's not necessary whatsoever. You use shift, press shift. Brad is coming back soon. He's busy right now. Bro's already traveling because he's so successful. I'm at the spa, man. I'm showing my time. All right. 4 minutes to open. Guys, I'm gonna leave you here. Wish you all the best today. Good luck trading. We'll be seeing what happens. And don't blow your accounts if you didn't already during CPI. And good luck, obviously. Your model. I trade AM Trades Foundation model. It can be found in the lens. I can't like give it out because it's you have to pay for it essentially to learn the contents, and so I shouldn't be doing that. Take care. Appreciate you. Appreciate you too, Mr. Six. The spa. Rich people shit. No, I don't look for 1-minute entries. I'm good off that. I'll send you guys a picture from the spa though. Yalla. I'll see you guys around. Bye bye. Good luck.